Okay, ready to go here as the players come together. Umpire Nick Beckett on the commentary side from Zambia. Happy with the line now. Ball goes in. Oh, straight in the racket of Dory Johnson, but straight back out again. And back out over the sideline, so we'll do it again. Just waiting for the players to come together. Okay, ball's in now. It's out the back. Who's going to be on first on it? Sophie Sargent for Zimbabwe. She has 2 or 3 cracks at it, but can't quite pick it up. Oh, Drew Logan in the number 2 shirt. Beautiful little backhand pick up there. Puts a pass across centre field to a number 1 in Kelly Redfern. Redfern now heading towards the area. Slaps a bounce down. Gets a big, high, long one, and it's gone to ground. Who's going to be first back to it? It's Rachel Gaylor in the number 3 shirt for the USA. She makes her way around now, heading out towards centre field, puts a bounce down, comes up nicely. Lets a little pony run, looking for her number 1 in Dory Johnson. Kelly Redfern's right there with her though, so Rachel Gaylor, she checks up. Cops a little bit of a bump there, but she hangs onto the ball. She's trying to get her way out of the pack now, flicks a pass across to her number 2. Heading down towards the area now. Erin Smoyer now, looking for her number 1 in Dory Johnson. Dory Johnson being well marked up there by Sophie Sargent. The pass goes over now. It's a little bit stray and it's gone to ground. Who can see it? Oh, it's in the racket of Dory Johnson, but the sideline's going to beat her. So the pass just a little bit off there, and it'll be Sophie Sargent to restart play from the back line for Zimbabwe. She pops a little 10-yard lob out, comes up nicely for her. Wheels the pony round, does the left-hander, comes out to centre field now, puts a big long one across to her number 1 in Kelly Redfern. She's running clean out in front. She's got a paddock on the rest of the field. The bounce goes down. How does it come up? Oh, not well. She couldn't handle it. It's gone to ground once again, but she's going to be first back to it. Thinks about the big high one over the top. That's the first goal on the board for Zimbabwe. So crowd side they go. Ball goes in, straight in the racket of Sophie Sargent. She took that one nicely out the back to the left-hander. Takes out the number 3 in Rachel Gaylor. Puts the pass across to a number 1, Kelly Redfern, centre field. The bounce goes down. Oh, once again, it's not a good one. Rachel Gaylor comes in and mops that up. Just steadies things down for the USA, looking to get on the board here in this first chukker. Rachel Gaylor now makes her way around the front of Kelly Redfern, gets towards centre field, puts a bounce down, gets a good one. Heading downfield, looking for a number 1 in Dory Johnson. The run's on now, they got to the line, the pass goes over, oh, just inches away. But Dory Johnson, she's good enough to gather it off the bounce. So Dory Johnson now ducks in behind Sophie Sargent, down near the baseline, slots that one through. The USA level it up, 1 goal each.
So we go to 1-1 in the first chukker. We'll come back and line up an umpire Nick Beckett on the scorer's side of the field. He tells her to wait and then walk in. Ball comes straight off the stick, straight to the back to the hand of the umpire. And they'll line up again and again, tell them to wait. And again, the ball comes right out of the back, and then we freezes either first of it. Rachel Gaylor, nice little offside pick up from the US. She'll go downfield, look for her number 1, Dory Johnson, on the line, long pass across to Dory. And through the post it goes, makes it 2-1 to the USA. Ball goes in, it's out of the back, and then Weaver freezes even. Oh no, it won't. The way it's breaking. Oh, it might just be Rachel Gaylor again. She pulls it in for Wood, but Wood is laid on by Kelly Redfern. And then umpire's whistle goes. Ball came loose from the racket of Rachel Gaylor, and we'll see what the umpire said. The umpire, I think, saying Dory Johnson grabbing that ball and taking it straight over the 30-yard line, so carrying it over the 30-yard line, and Sophie Sargent will get the 10-metre throw. She takes it to herself, and umpire says, didn't wait till I say play. So we'll have a neutral line-up. So, little error resulting in a neutral line-up for a foul on a foul. And umpire lines them up again. It goes in, it's out of the back, and it's Sophie Sargent, who sees her first bit in her own area. Now she'll look to come back out in the midfield. She's got Dory Johnson marking her off at the moment. Sophie Sargent just gets Vieira moving from down the bounce. Now running downfield, looking for Kelly Redfern, running down in front of her. Audrey Logan trying to trap up Rachel Gaylor to make Kelly Redfern's job easier, but Sophie Sargent losing the break slightly, having to flick it back to Audrey Logan. Audrey Logan did a good job recovering, and now she'll thread a little pass through to Kelly. Kelly Redfern couldn't hold it at the first time, holds it at the second. Now she's got to find her way around Rachel Gaylor in this number 3 shirt. Puts down the power, drives across the goal, throws it out the side. It's good. Lovely goal out the side by Kelly Redfern. That makes it 2-2, and they'll line up an umpire. Fraser Donnelly of New Zealand on the crowd side of the field. I know they won't. They want to line up on that side, but the umpires decide they should really line up an umpire Nick Beckett because it's his turn to throw the ball. Ball goes in, it's knocked down on the USA side, but Kelly Redfern lays a racket on it. Sophie Sargent lays a racket on it. She grabs the line, floats it across to Kelly Redfern, but time will defeat, and Kelly Redfern's going to throw it for fun. But it's way after time, and it's not going to count. And we'll see how the men come out.
Okay, 2-2 at the end of the first ladies' chukker there. Very hard fought, that chukker, and then nothing to split them. The men ride out for the first time. For the USA, we'll have Seth Alcott at 1, Ryan Strider at 2, and Robbie Shuttles at 3. For Zimbabwe, we'll have Andy Baker at 1, Graham Keith at 2, and Mikey Krynor at 3. Can we please make sure that everyone on the crowd side is well behind that safety line? We'd hate to see someone get run over and carted off in an ambulance. Okay, players come together now. On umpire Beckett, the ball goes in, it's off the one track, it's straight down the front. Who can see it? Everyone fights for it. It's rolling towards the sideline, and it's going to beat all the players there. Off the horse is the call from umpire Beckett, so we'll line up again. Ball goes in, straight in the racket of Andy Baker for Zimbabwe. He's around the front of the pack, lets the little pony run. Puts the bounce down, gets a good one, comes up nicely for him, and that's the first goal on the board to Zimbabwe. Andy Baker not wasting any time there, took that ball straight around the front of the pack and hammered it home before USA even knew what happened. They go to the crowd side for the first time in this men's section. The ball goes in, and Seth Alcott, the number 1 shirt, he's claimed one back. He wasn't happy about Andy Baker taking the first time off him, so he's reclaimed it. Umpire's whistle's on though. So a little bit of a crude angle on the ride off there, I think, is the call from the umpires. So unfortunately that'll be a turnover for the USA, and it'll be Zimbabwe with the ball. Andy Baker now takes his 10-yard throw going into the area, regathers nicely on the non-stick side. Checks up the little pony. Just ducking and diving, trying to find a way around. Big overhand shot, and that's a goal on the board. So Zimbabwe stretch the lead to 2. Okay, looks like we're sorted now. Seth Alcott ready to go again. Players come together on the commentary side. Umpire Beckett not happy with the lineup though, sends them back. Ball goes in now, it was off the racket of the ones and down the USA side. Robbie Shuttles nearly had it, but Mikey Krynor did just enough to spoil it for him. The ball's still down the ground. Mikey Krynor reaches for it. He can't pick it up, though. Still on the ground. Andy Baker for Zimbabwe. He gathers it nicely, puts a little mully grubber bounce out, comes up well, and puts that one on the board. That'll make it 3-0 in favour of Zimbabwe, this chucker.
So Zimbabwe go to a 3-goal lead. 5-2 the score. And they'll line up on umpire Fraser Donnelly on the crowd side of the field. Ball goes in, it's down on the floor. It's reached for by a USA stick. They can't pull it in. Pulled in by Seth Alcott, the USA #1. Andy Baker comes in with a big swing. Ball comes loose, bounces high. Graham Keefe reaches a #2 shirt. And umpire's going to say hit down, I think, by Andy Baker to get the ball out of that stick. So free throw to Seth Alcott, the USA #1. He'll take it to himself at that 30-yard line. Now he's got to find around Mikey Craner in his #3 shirt for Zimbabwe. Goes across the face of goals, looks at the big overarm, throws it, but it hooks in the stick, crosses over the centre line of a horse. And we'll see what the umpires say. Umpire's going to say free throw to Zimbabwe from the spot. It crossed the centre line of a horse. Mikey Craner takes it to himself. Spins the big horse round to the 30-yard line. Bounces, pulls it back in. Running downfield. Andy Baker running down in front of him. Takes a little pass aboard Chispa. Andy Baker down towards the 30 line. Big wood laid in. Massive wood laid in by Ryan Strider. Took it straight over the centre line of a horse. An absolutely sweet hit on the stick of Andy Baker. Lined him up and absolutely smacked it straight across the centre line. And now USA have got the free throw, and now Andy Baker, I think, has got in the way of that free throw. And it will get moved up the far end of the field. So impeding the free throw, not giving the USA first chance at it, will mean it's moved up to the next penalty line, which is the USA's attacking 30-yard line. It's taken by Seth Alcott to the non-stick side of his horse. He pulls it back in. Now he goes for a little bit of a ride out of the corner. Goes for a little bit of a ride across the face of the goals. Just checks up, looks for way around Mikey Craner. Mikey Craner, big backswing. Seth Alcott this time overarms there. Comes off Mikey Craner's stick and just trickles through the goals. So, problem with Seth Alcott's horse is sorted, and they're coming again. Andy Baker just grabs it at the front. Ball Chispa drives straight through the line, up to the 30-yard line, bounces. Oh, nearly had it disrupted for him by Robbie Shuttles, but he managed to gather it on the second attempt. Now he's got to find a way. Robbie Shuttles in that #3 shirt, drives around the front, lines up the post, shoots it through. Andy Baker adds another one, 6-3 the score.
Players coming together on the crowd side. Ball goes in, it's off the ones rackets down the USA side. Who's first to it? It is that man, Graham Keefe. Flicked a cheeky little pass to Andy Baker there, but the umpire's clean onto that one. Ready to restart now. It'll be Seth Alcott with the #1 shirt for the USA. Takes his 10-yard lob, comes up on the non-stick side, comes in, gets a big hit there from Andy Baker, and the ball's gone to ground, but Seth Alcott regathers it. Comes in now, Graham Keefe puts a big one in, the ball's gone to ground once again. Andy Baker can't quite handle it. It's still on the ground, they're all fighting for it. Andy Baker's first back around to it, but the umpire's whistle's gone. Umpire Donnelly spotting an infringement there, so it'll be Andy Baker at the 30-yard line. Takes his 10-yard throw and regathers. Just let his things down, trying to find a way around Ryan Murphy. Gets around the back now, thinks about the little one under the neck. Turns away from it though, decides on a better option. Double duck dive weave, he's around the front now, the overhand shot. And that's all clear. So it'll be 7 goals, plays 3 in favour of Zimbabwe. And that'll do us for the end of this first men's chukker. So Zimbabwe stepping out to a 4-goal lead there. The ladies ready to come back on now. We'll have the lineups for you in just a moment. Players ready to go here for the start of the third chukker. Umpire Becker just waiting to be happy with the lineup before he puts the ball in. Wants all players to have a fair crack at it. It goes in now and it's off the twos rackets and down the USA side. Rachel Gaylor gathers nicely there for the USA. Makes her way down towards the area now, looking for a #1 in Dory Johnson. Leads on now, getting to the line, pass goes over. Oh, she couldn't quite handle it, it's just rimmed off the racket. She's good enough to get around to it on the second occasion though. So Dory Johnson now want to drag one back for the USA. Trying to find a way around the left-hander, Sophie Sargent. Dory Johnson just goes for a little bit of a ride. Finding herself a little bit of space, faces up now. Still can't find a way around, so she comes back out to the top once again. Sophie Sargent just sitting deep in the area on top of that D. So Dory Johnson goes the big high one over the top. Umpires wave that all clear. Rackets go up, the USA drag on back. That'll make it 4 goals, plays 7.
So 4 goals, plays 7 in the third. USA versus Zimbabwe in this first semi-final of a World Cup. Snapped down in the middle by Suzanne Sargent for Zimbabwe. Suzanne Sargent now looking to link up with Kelly Redfern at the 30-yard line. Moves downfield, throws a little pass across. Umpire's whistle's gone. And what does the umpire say? I think the umpire's saying carried over 30-yard line by the Zimbabwe number 2. And so Rachel Gaylor will get the free throw. She comes out and throws it to the non-stick side to herself. Immediately under a whole lot of pressure from Suzanne Sargent, but she gets away from that and heads downfield. She's got Kelly Redfern up on a non-stick side. Heather Shellos keeps Suzanne Sargent away for a little bit, but now she comes in to rejoin the chase. Rachel Gaylor getting chased by the Zimbabwe defence. Checks up, looks her way round. And I think the umpire's going to get Suzanne Sargent for swinging from too far back. Yeah, so Suzanne Sargent swinging from well behind the back end of the horse, up at Rachel Gaylor's arm. Was never really going to hit the racket from there, and the free throw will go to the USA from the 30-yard line. Dory Johnson takes it, but immediately she's under pressure from Sophie Sargent. Is loose on the floor in the 30-yard area. Sophie Sargent couldn't handle it, and it's still loose on the floor. She goes for it again. Kill can't mop it up. Niven can lay a racket on a moment. This time Sophie Sargent finally gets it to the third attempt. Comes to the 30-yard line. Pumps a long one out in the midfield to Kelly Redfern. Kelly Redfern is up and running. Heading downfield towards the 30-yard line. Carries on going, breaks over 30-yard line, bounces, pulls it back in, lines up a post and shoots it through for Zimbabwe. Makes it 8-4. So they come together again. Umpire Beckett throws in the ball, it's out of the back. Sophie Sargent will see the first of it for Zimbabwe. She can't drag it in. Heather Shuttles can drag it in aboard Nala for the USA. Heather Shuttles getting chased in mid-bar by the Zimbabwe defence, but makes it downfield. Sticks a little pass through to Dory Johnson. Dory Johnson will take it, but she's running on towards that back line, has to circle round and drive back into towards the post, lines them up. Oh, Sophie Sargent, lovely intercept. Stops the goal going through. And then unfortunately carries the ball off the back line, but she stopped the goal for a moment at least. So Dory Johnson with a free throw. Takes it to herself. And now got Sophie Sargent hard on her, trying to keep her away from these goals for a second time. Dory Johnson just checks up in front of a post, lines them up. Sophie Sargent just in front of her, trying to block up the shot again. Dory Johnson puts a big high one up over top. This one is good. No.
Yeah, so nice bit of work from Heather Shuttles there. Gets hold of the ball for the USA in the number 2 position. Delivers it nicely down to a 1. Bit of a roundabout in the area, but eventually the goal goes on the board. It's on in on the far side now and down the USA side. Rachel Gaylor gathers, but the umpire's whistle's gone. Okay, ball's in once again. Oh, and it's Sophie Sargent for the Zimbabwean side. He drags that one in out the back, flicks the centre field pass across to a number 1 in Kelly Redfern. Redfern now at the line, puts the bounce down and hammers that home. That'll make it 9-5 in favour of Zimbabwe, maintaining their 4-goal lead. So players come together on the commentary side once again. Umpire Beckett not happy with the lineup, wants those ones behind the tee. They come together now, the ball goes in. Oh, it's off the racket of the number 1 in Kelly Redfern. It's gone down the USA side, but Sophie Sargent's the first to it. She pops a little overhand pass across, nicely taken. That's another quick goal to Zimbabwe.
So Zimbabwe grab another quick goal there. Nice play by Sophie Sargent, linking up with Kelly Redfern. Kelly Redfern taking the pass well over the line. And Just shooting it straight through the post to make it 10-5. Umpire telling the number 2s to get straight in the line out. Ball goes in, it's out the back again, and it'll be the USA number 3 and Rachel Gaylor. She snaps it up, heads downfield towards the 30-yard line, pops a little pass, goes to Dory Johnson, couldn't handle it in the first attempt. It's rolling towards that back line, and it will go dead over the back line, and we'll see what the umpires say. The umpires are going to say off a horse, neutral line-up. So Sophie Sargent and Dory Johnson both having a bit of horse trouble at the moment. That's time at the end of the third. So at the end of the third, Zimbabwe hold a 10-5 lead. And we'll see if the men make any changes when they come out. So the two teams will come together for the first time in the fourth. 6 minutes on the clock. The score 10-5 in favour of Zimbabwe. Ball goes in, it's dragged down Zimbabwe's side. Danish Swan snaps it up. A new young player in the number 2 shirt. He snaps it up for Zimbabwe. Floats a pass away to the long arm of Mikey Craner. He just reaches out and grabs it. Then he pops a pass through to Andy Baker, but Andy Baker couldn't hold it. It's rolling towards that back line. And it will go dead over back line. And we'll see what the umpire says. The umpire, I think, is going to say USA ball. So Robbie Shuttles will get the 10-metre throw. He rides in, flicks it up to the non-stick side. And umpire's whistle's gone again. I think they might be moving him up the field to the 30-yard line. I think they're saying Andy Baker didn't give him a clean first chance of a ball. When you've got a penalty throw like that, you've got to give a player first clean chance of a ball. Robbie Shuttles take the one from the 30-yard line at pace. Lets that little horse run downfield towards the 30-yard line, pops the pass straight across to Seth Alcott. Oh, Mikey Crane, a massive swing. And I think the goal judge is going to... I think the umpire's going to give a free goal for that one. For wild swinging. So ball goes in, it's down on the Zimbabwe side. Mikey Crane snaps it back up. Thinks about the long bomb, but is not on now. Drives that little horse round the pack. Looking to link up with Andy Baker. Going downfield. Looking at Andy Baker on the 30-yard line. Little pass goes because Andy Baker gets down well to grab it. Oh, drives Chispa around the front of Foxy and just shoots it through the goals.
Come on, Murphy! Come on, Seth, your ball!
Could everyone please stay back between the 5-metre safety line? That includes teams, managers, everyone else. Back between the 5-metre line. Ball goes in, it's knocked down at the front. The one's reached for it, neither can grab it at the moment. It's come back over his sideline.
Come on, Seth, your ball!
They come together again.
Your ball, Murphy!
Line out not straight yet. Umpire Nick Beckett saying, wait here and I'll call you in together. Ball goes in. Oh, Andy Baker so fast at the front, snaps another one down. And Seth Alcott's taken away by Danny Swan. And Andy Baker going upfield, puts down the pace, runs through the pack, checks up just before the 30-yard line, bounces, pulls it back in somehow, I don't know how, lines up the post and shoots it through. Good work by Andy Baker, makes it 12-6.
Yes, Andy Baker getting the job done there under a ton of pressure from the USA side. So they go to the crowd side once again. And umpire Fraser Donnelly of New Zealand. Ball goes in, it's off sticks, down the Zimbabwean side. Mikey Cranell reaches for it, but he can't quite grab it. It's Danny Swan now in the number 2 shirt, puts a big long one out in front of his number 1. Andy Baker running towards it. Juggles it over the 30-yard line, reaches down and plucks it off the turf. So Andy Baker now just steadies things down in the area. Robbie Shuttles right there to mark him up on the grey horse. Andy Baker now thinks about ducking around the back. But Robbie Shuttles, he's seen that before and he's right there to block him up. Andy Baker ducking and diving. Goes for a little bit of a ride now, checks the pony up.
Well done, Robbie.
Once again, no gap forthcoming, so he goes for another bit of a ride. Makes his way around to the top of the area now, trying to find a way around. Oh, he goes stick side now, the overhand shot out the side, and that's all clear. That'll make it 13-6 in favour of Zimbabwe.
Come on, Seth, your ball. Your ball, Robbie, your ball, Robbie.
If there's any USA fans out there in the crowd, now's the time to get behind them, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on, boys.
Get these players up and about with a bit of support. The ball goes in, it's off the one's rackets and down the Zimbabwean side. And he's the first to it in the number 2 shirt.
Come on, Murphy, get in there, get in
Heading
there.
back the wrong way towards his own area though, so he flicks a little pass back to Mikey Cranor. Mikey Cranor takes it, gives it a little whirl and lets the big pony run. Looking for number 1 now, and Andy Bacon to go to. Slots that one through. That'll give Zimbabwe an 8-goal advantage. So Zimbabwe stepping away a little bit here, edging ever closer to a spot in the biggest final they'll ever play. On the crowd side now, ball's in, it's off rackets and down in amongst the pack. It's Ryan Murphy, the left-hander for the USA. Gathers the ball now, lets the pony run the area, looking for his number 1 in Seth Alcott. The pass goes over, nicely taken. Seth Alcott now trying to find a way around Mikey Cranor and put one on the board for the US. Goes the double duck dive. Oh, Mikey Cranor once again goes the big swing, and once again Fraser Donnelly blows the whistle and says free goal. Seth Alcott doing a good job drawing into the big swing there. Okay, so the USA drag on back there. That'll make it 14-7. The ball's in on the commentary side and out the back, but the umpire's whistle's gone. Umpire Donnelly not happy with the lineup and says Zimbabwe ball. 3's not lining up straight. So it's Mikey Cranor now. Takes a 10-yard lob. Comes up nicely for him, but time's going to beat him. So 14-7 at the end of the fourth chukker there. 12 minutes left in this game. There's plenty of time for the USA to get back in it. Okay, as the ladies section right on for the third and final time. The Zimbabwe lineup remains unchanged with Kelly Redfern at 1, Suzanne Sargent at 2 and Sophie Sargent at 3. For the USA, Dory Johnson remains at 1. Erin Smoy has come back into the number 2 position. Rachel Gaylor remains at 3. So they come together on the commentary side now. The ball goes in, it's out the back. Oh, straight in the racket of Sophie Sargent, the left-hander, nicely taken out the back there. So Sophie Sargent now trying to make her way down towards the area, being hard ridden by Dory Johnson. Kelly Redfern gets around the back of the pack now. Sophie Sargent flicks the pass across. Kelly Redfern slaps the bounce down and hammers that one through. That'll make it 15-7 in favour of Zimbabwe. So the crowd side, ball goes in. Suzanne Sargent takes it straight out of the middle for the green and whites there. Flicks a pass across to her number 1 in Kelly Redfern. She had to reach way back, but she plucked it in. Gets to the line now, puts a bounce down, comes up nicely, and that's another one on the board for Zimbabwe. So 2 quick goals there, giving Zimbabwe a little bit of a stretch to their lead. That'll make it 16-7.
Zimbabwe building themselves a bit of a cushion here, up by 9. So the umpire tells them to get back behind the tee, showing them exactly where it is on the ground. It's that white line there. Ball goes in, it's up high off the sticks, and Sophie Sargent catches it as he's on his way back down. She'll drive downfield, look for Kelly Redfern up the line. Pass goes across, but it was a low one. Kelly Redfern couldn't pull it in, and umpire says carried over the 30-yard line in a way, I think. I know it's going to be a Zimbabwe infringement at the line. Possibly the USA's involvement in the area, I'm not sure. But anyway, Kelly Redfern takes a 30-yard throw, 10-meter throw to herself. Now looks to find her way around Rachel Gaylor in that number 3 shirt. Spins her little horse round, looks for a way round. Rachel Gaylor steps out the side, but it's going to be a tight angle shot. Lovely tight angle shot from Kelly Redfern. Threw it beautifully out the side. Puts another one on the board for Zimbabwe. 17-7. Side of the field, they'll have behind this Come together. And now more again says you're way over the tee. Starting to finish off the job. She must be up for Zimbabwe. She pops the ball straight out to Kelly Redfern. Kelly Redfern loves a little horse run downfield and got pace of bloody down towards the 30-yard line. Bounces, pulls it back in. Now she's got Rachel Gaylor for company in the 30-yard area. Just lines up the short, but bangs it over and bangs it wide. So Zimbabwe miss a chance. USA will get the 30-yard clearing throw. Rachel Gaylor will take this 30-yard clearing throw to herself. Tries to pull in for number 69 to get it first and get to the second, but now the ball comes loose. And umpire's whistle goes.
Sophie Sargent just sitting deep in the area on top of that D. So Dory Johnson goes the big high one over the top. Umpires wave that all clear. Rackets go up. The USA drag on back. USA now, so if there's anyone out there who wants to get behind it out the time, ladies and gentlemen, you paid your money in the game, it doesn't cost anything extra to cheer. Ball's in on the crowd side, straight in the racket of Kelly Redfern, but straight back out. Kelly Redfern once again, she's claimed that one in the front of the lineup. Doesn't get really good this time, takes a little wheel out of the pony, he's running down to the area. Rachel Gaylor out front, though, takes her up on it. Yeah, just fixing your saddle pad down, Rachel Gaylor's first. Which in international rules is a penalty, so it'll be Zimbabwe and more from the tee. Get away from the spot, says umpire Nick Hackett. Happy with it now, so he says play. Kelly Redfern takes it. He's around the back and at the post. Yes, that one for Zimbabwe. That'll make it 19 goals plays 8. So Zimbabwe go to a 19 goal lead. They're in this first semi-final. The 1 foot in the final for it, but they won't relax yet. Halfway is on this, a little more to go out, come back in and line up straight. The ball goes in, pulled down on the top by Kelly Redfern for Zimbabwe. She bursts through the line out and down towards the 30-yard line, bounces, reaches up high to put it back in and shoots it straight to the sticks. Looks like it's really in the position, Zimbabwe. Gives her a 12-goal cushion. Ryan Strider's got the 1 from the USA, Ryan Murphy at 2 and Robbie Shullers at 3. So they come together. Ball snapped down in the middle by Jamie Swan. When Andy Baker doesn't grab him at the front, Jamie Swan will grab it in the middle. They'll go right up on the far side, the outside of the field on umpire John Wade. So they line up. Umpire calls them in. Jump that over the sideline.
neutral line up. Back the lines him up again on the side. Bounces down off the twos and it's loose on the floor. And snapped up by right back in the number 3 shot for the USA. Right back to play. Drives on back up the USA. Putting on play 9. They run it down without a fight. Yes, the USA still fighting hard here as they come back to the countryside. Ball goes in, it's a big high long one out the back. Robbie shuttles his first to it, but the umpire's whistle's beating him. Umpire Nick Beckett not happy with his own handiwork there, so we'll throw it in again. Ball goes in, it's off stick, he's down in the twos. Who gets there? Ryan Murphy reaches down, can't quite pick it up though. Ryan Strider, he's down, he's on the ball, he's out and running. Mikey Crono chases hard, but Ryan Strider, he collects the ball nicely and drops that one in. Lonnie getting quick there for Ryan Strider, pluck the ball out of the pack and set the pony running. There, but the umpire let it go. The ball goes in, it's out the back. Oh, Mikey Crono straight across the front of that lineup, pluck that one. The whistle's going to beat him though. Umpire back fit onto the unstraight line up there, so it'll be Ryan Strider now. Puts a little pass back across to his number 2 and Ryan Murphy. Ryan Murphy, the left-hander, making his way down the field. Not one down there, the ball's going down. He regathers on the non-stick side. Left-hander around the corner, he lets the pony run now. Robbie shuttles off to the second player. Ryan Murphy in, Ryan puts the pass across. Mikey Crono reach around the back there, and that's a pretty intimidating side when you've got 8 feet of arm around the back here. Mikey Crono there. Beautiful bit of work bringing the ball out, putting the long pass and then taking the number 3. Then Danny Baker with the simplest of jobs to do, just bounce the ball and put it through the post. Okay. Back on the commentary side now, ball goes in, Andy Baker once again, he loves that side of the lineup, he's been claiming them there all week. He heads back away for his own goals, he himself a little. On through. Zimbabwe stretch their lead, that's 23 goals by 10. Yeah, some nice play from Zimbabwe. Andy Baker not getting a nice bounce on the line, but good enough to put it back in. And then drive around and throw it through the post. Zimbabwe men begin to assert their dominance in this final chucker. 23 plays 10, ball comes in, it's bounced down. Oh, J.D. Swan reaches out and on and grabs it this time. His arm seems a low growth of, I think, from Michael Craner's there as he grabbed that one, sticks it on across to Andy Baker, and umpire's whistle's gone. You can see what the USA stick in the middle. And seeing that USA stick belonged to Ryan Strider, I don't think it should really have been in that. So Andy Baker will get the simplest of shots right in front of a post. Lines it up, pops. And that will make it 24-10. They'll line up again and umpire Nick Beckett, table side of the field. They come together again. Andy Baker just took that one straight out of the umpire's hand. And umpire Nick Beckett said he was actually over in front of a tee, which is why he could actually take it straight out of my hand. So it's going to be a free throw to the USA. Robbie Shuttles comes in to take a free throw, plays it back to Ryan Murphy. Ryan Murphy.